Good afternoon and welcome back to Transformation Thursdays, where we highlight some of our agency's broad and impactful work in Northeast Louisiana. My name is Katie Terrell. I'm so excited to jump into this episode with you today. We spoke last week about Recovery Month. We are still in Recovery Month. We're in the middle of Recovery Month, and we're going to take an even deeper dive into Recovery Month with a couple of our partners on today's episode. Our mission here at Northeast Delta is to serve as a catalyst for individuals with mental health, developmental disabilities, and addictive disorders to help them realize their full human potential by offering quality, excellent care with greater accessibility. Our vision is to build a unified Northeast Louisiana where individuals are thriving and reaching their full human potential. The three tenets that guide our actions are greater access to services, excellent customer service, and quality, competent care. It is Thursday, September 18th, 2025. Again, September is Recovery Month. As we mentioned last week, recovery is something to truly celebrate. We're going to keep that vibe going all month long. On today's episode, we are lucky enough to have special guests from a couple of our partner organizations. So, Dr. Craig Comanche is the founder and CEO of Good News Counseling. Riley McEacharn is an administrator for Second Chances Addiction Recovery Center. And Ms. Kara Etienne is back as our Opioid Use Disorder Prevention Manager. Let's welcome all three of them into Transformation Thursday.
Hello, Katie.
Hello.
Hello.
Another important thing to add is that Second Chances and Dr. Comanche are also serving as contractors for us right now and providing some services for our agency that extends the work that we are doing on the opioid side of things. So Dr. Comanche is doing Generation RX sessions as well as opioid recovery group. And Second Chances is doing a lot of community-based events such as hosting movie nights throughout the region at various libraries. They just completed a very successful sober living 8-week course that they had. And so we're just really excited to always work and partner with them and the work that they help us to do and the lives they help us to change.
Yes, thank you, Kara. I think that we're going to give them here in a second a great opportunity to elaborate even on those things that we have coming up, because every time I see anything posted on our social media channels right now, it's something to do with Good News Counseling or Second Chances. I mean, there's so much going on right now. So first of all, Dr. Comanche, can you just tell us a little bit more about what Good News Counseling is?
Okay. Good News Counseling is a substance abuse agency that I founded to meet the needs of individuals and families across North Louisiana. We currently operate in 2 locations. We operate in Monroe and Bastrop. Our mission is to provide restoration, recovery, and hope through evidence-based practices. We serve people from all walks of life. Both try to kind of mess with a little mental health, but substance abuse mainly. While also helping those clients strengthen life skills and family relationships, community connections, and things like that. At our core, we just believe in treating the whole person, spirit, soul, and body, so that long-term healing can begin to take place.
And there, just even hearing you talk about it, Dr. Comanche, there's so much overlap with what we believe in here at Northeast Delta. Yeah. And I know that that's why we've partnered so much. So can you explain from your perspective the value of Good News Counseling partnering with Northeast Delta to better serve and reach people in our region?
Of course. Partnering with Northeast Delta allows us to be able to connect to multiple parishes at one time. It is extremely valuable for Region 8 because it allows us to combine expertise and community outreach in a way that has a much greater impact than working alone. Northeast Delta provides oversight and coordination for behavioral health services in this region. And by aligning with them, Good News Counseling can ensure that our clients have access to a full continuum of care, from prevention and outpatient counseling to stabilization and community supports. This partnership also strengthens our ability to reduce duplication of services and build a more coordinated system of care. Ultimately, When agencies like ours partner with Northeast Delta, the entire region benefits because more individuals and families can have access, timely, quality care right here at home. So it's very, very important.
Yes, I appreciate so many things that you said there.
Mhm.
I think there is so much sometimes confusion whenever agencies and organizations are trying to achieve the same goal but not together. And so individuals in our community don't know where to go or who to call or where to turn. And so I feel like when we're partnering together, we truly are working on meeting people where they are towards the same goal. And I think it's only benefiting our community to have our agencies and organizations working together to show that collaboration and really that pursuit of the same goal. So yeah, we appreciate working with y'all so much. And we'll kind of get back to that here in a second.
Okay.
So Ms. McCann, I'm going to ask you a couple of the same questions. So can you tell us, because I know that, there's a little bit of overlap with Second Chances, but can you tell us more about Second Chances Addiction Recovery Center?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are a behavioral health and substance abuse recovery center located right here in Northeast Louisiana. And we're in Start, actually, in Rayville area. We serve adult men and women who are struggling with addiction, and we offer them multiple levels of care. We go all the way from detox to residential settings where they can be here from 30 to 90 days, depending on the need. Insurance, of course, plays a factor in that as well. And all the way to outpatient and aftercare. But more than that, we believe that, thank you. More than that, we believe that recovery is healing of the whole person, but also healing of the entire unit of that person. So I truly believe that in order for somebody to heal, then the family and those surrounding them have to buy into that process to some extent. Even with boundaries set, that's still possible. And we just want to support our clients through that transformation with real structure, community, and compassion. And much like we've had the opportunity with Northeast Delta to work with the sober living community on life skills, we like to start that here at Second Chances, work on the life skills so that they have an opportunity to continue that outside of here.
Good deal.
Yeah, so I know that we obviously have a lot of events coming up with you guys. So there is some community outreach as well. So it's not just a recovery center. There's a lot that you guys do out in the community as well. So can you talk a little bit more about the benefit of Second Chances working with Northeast Delta?
Oh, yeah. So this is, first off, thank y'all, because this has allowed us to reach far beyond our walls. But it's also stretched us in leadership to realize like that capability was there, but mentally sometimes I believe you get so stuck, right, in doing the same and staying where you are. And there's benefits to that, but there's a lot of drawback because you're not seeing what is needed out there in the community as much. You're going by what was needed when you started this. And times are changing, people are changing, the needs are changing. So through this partnership, we've been able to host so many events alongside them, provide education, and get out into the communities that need the help and that they may not know where to start, or even some of the businesses may not know where to start. And we've been able to promote that and speak to other local centers like ours and like Dr. Comanche's and help them with, hey, this is what we're seeing is necessary and this is what we'd like to do, and get that passion burning for others. And that's been super exciting along this process.
Yes.
Absolutely. And Kara, I know we'll talk a little bit more in a few minutes about those events in particular, but I'm curious even from both of your perspectives. So last week we had Ms. Rogers and Kara on Transformation Thursday, and they talked about, what the importance is of Recovery Month to them from where they sit. So for both of you, I'm curious, what is the importance of Recovery Month?
It's vitally important because it shines a spotlight on hope that recovery is not only possible but sustainable, right? In Region 8, we see the devastating impact that addiction and untreated mental illness has had on families, on schools, and neighborhoods. Recovery Month allows us to change the narrative. reminding the community that people do recover and that treatment does work and that families can be restored. It also creates opportunities for education, breaks down the stigma that often keeps people from seeking help. And by coming together, we learn to celebrate the achievements, no matter how small the milestone is. If it's 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year, that one day is enough, for someone to be in recovery. So having Recovery Day gives everyone that's a part of the community, from the provider side to the client side, to come together, to have fun, to eat, to dance, to listen to music, to be outside. It's awesome. It's like what this community, everyone is looking forward to it. And I can't wait. So it's very, very important.
Yeah. So yeah, he said a lot, and that was great. Like, he really encompassed a lot that I wanted to say. But especially in our rural areas too, when it comes to Recovery Month, I want to point that out, because I do feel like with a population not as dense, a lot of those regions, a lot of those areas get left out of some of the main thought processes for certain people, and we get to highlight those needs that are there in a lot of the communities that have been greatly affected by addiction, and we get to celebrate the recovery that's possible in those areas too. So I do think it gives us permission to talk openly about these things and about mental health and how that goes hand in hand with addiction. And so many people are not able to see that if it's not something that you're working with directly day in and day out. And I do think that it helps to ease that shame that a lot of people carry, because it's a conversation that's already taking place. And so they get to just jump in on a conversation and, again, feel that permission to jump in on that at that time.
Yeah, there were so many central themes you guys talked about, similar to what Kara and Janice talked about last week. I heard so much about inspiration and celebration, and that it's really something that that's designed to show people that it's possible, but that also it's something we're going to celebrate. And it's something, no matter what, Dr. Comanche's point, no matter how big or small, like, it's a celebration. You should be proud of that. And that's really what all of these events are designed to showcase. So thank y'all so much for giving your take on that. So we'll get back to y'all in just a second. Kara, I know that we briefly talked last week about our upcoming events for Recovery Month, but they're constantly changing because we have some that have passed, we have some that are upcoming. Can you share, just again to remind our listeners, about what events are upcoming for Recovery Month?
Yes. So before I start that, I want to remind everyone also what the theme is. I really like the theme that was selected. And of course, this is the nationwide theme. So everywhere you go across the nation, if there's a recovery celebration going on, the theme is recovery is real, restoring every aspect of life for everyone. So that just says, it echoes what Dr. Comanche and Riley said, that with the right treatment, support, and resources, recovery is real.
Amen.
Yes. So we have remaining for the month the activities of our biggest event, which is our Recovery Day celebration that will be taking place on tomorrow, September the 19th, at the Louisiana Purchase Gardens and Zoo Pavilion, our Recovery Day celebration, and that's going to be from 10 to 2. I also want to remind people, if you need a ride, we have that covered. Dr. Comanche is going to be providing transportation to anyone that is in need of getting there. The first year we did it, we had about maybe 200 and some people in attendance. Last year we had over 300, almost 400 people in attendance. And I even remember saying, you're getting them here faster than we're ready for. So if you need a ride, please reach out to Dr. Comanche. And when I say you, meaning you can be an entity or an agency that works with individuals that would benefit from this. However, you don't have or provide transportation, he can provide that transportation for you. So please reach out to him in order to be able to get that transportation set up. All you have to do is call 318-789-9910.
That's correct.
Yes. And then our last event of the night, of the month, is going to be our open mic night. That's going to be on Thursday, September the 25th. That's the last Thursday in this month. It's going to take place at True Relief, and it'll be from 5 to 8. That will be live. We're going to have some entertainers already performing for individuals, and then we're going to open it up for anyone that's in attendance that wants to share poetry or whatever their gift or talent is. If it's music, they will be able to have a maybe 2 to 3 minute set to be able to share their talent and their story with those in attendance. Last year we did it, and we had some amazing poets that I can't even really put into words how they use spoken word to tell a story. But the overall message was, of hope, of healing, of getting to a place, a better place. Even though, even if there was a poem or two that were kind of sad or maybe a tearjerker, it's still, the overall message still resounded that recovery is possible, recovery is real, and that there are people actively living in recovery every day. So those are our last 2 events for the month. We want you to come out and join us. And Dr. Comanche will also be providing transportation for the open mic night as well.
That's
so
good.
There is no reason that you cannot get to any of the events that we have. We identified that one of the barriers is transportation. And even though Monroe does have, a bus line, not everyone can afford, to buy a ticket to, ride the bus. So we've even covered the need of transportation and eliminating that barrier so that we can have individuals to come out and get with us. At the Recovery Day celebration, there will be lunch. So everyone, not only are you going to have entertainment, fun and games, music, and just overall fellowship with everyone, we're also going to feed you as well. So we look forward to having you there. If you have any questions, just reach out and let me know. I can help you to get registered or help connect you to Dr. Comanche or anything it is that you need in order to be able to come out and participate with us for those events.
Thank you, Kara. Yeah, we're so excited to see you at one of those events. If you've missed the events we've had so far, you have 2 more chances. Please come see us at one of those events. This last question, I think, is a good one to end on, and it's up for anyone to answer. But we've talked a lot about community. So why should our community care about Recovery Month? Even we've talked about, obviously, if someone's in recovery, we want to celebrate you. We want you to come so we can celebrate together. But even if someone doesn't directly identify as someone who's currently actively in recovery, why should our community still care about Recovery Month?
Well, I think because the very health of the community itself is in the individual. So when one individual gets into recovery and begins to get their life together, that family dynamic begins to shift. It begins to turn. So we know that individuals make up families, and families make up communities, and communities make up cities. So we understand this is why the community should be involved, because if someone is in a community and they're suffering from addiction or mental illness, that has the potential to become disruptive in the whole community itself. So it should be celebrated because that's a sign of healing, that healing is taking place within our community. You begin to see the community turn around. You see the family turn around. You see a community cleanups begin to take place. You see, together by partnering with HSA, local law enforcement, and just, the community at large, we begin to see our communities turn around. And then, of course, that leads to our cities turning around. And I think it's just exciting for everybody to take part in this, because everybody's going to be affected by it in one way or the other, either directly or indirectly. You're going to be affected by it.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Very well said. So, yeah, ditto. Touch on what he said. And also, recovery touches everybody, right? I mean, even if you're not personally in recovery, odds are someone you love is or will be or should be. And Recovery Month reminds us that addiction and mental health challenges don't discriminate. They affect our coworkers, our kids, teachers, unfortunately, sometimes our kids, our neighbors, our religious entities. They touch everywhere. And so It's important to be aware, make yourself aware, and celebrate the recovery that is possible around us and in this community. Also, to add on what Dr. Comanche said, because again, such a beautiful, brilliant response to that. I've told people before, in almost all the businesses that I've ever worked in or ran, I have seen some of the most beautiful employees that are present are those that are in recovery. And I don't believe that is simply because they are off of drugs and alcohol, right? I believe a big part of that is because they're working on themselves from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
And so many of us could benefit from doing the same and not simply looking at it as a sobriety thing, but like Dr. Comanche said, the health of your community relies on that. And so there's no shame in working on yourself from the inside out and paying attention to those that have been.
I love what both of you said. Yeah, I think too, I mean, we think about addiction and that makes us immediately think about substance use, but there are a lot of things individuals can have addictions to, and we're all really in some way dealing with making ourselves a better person and moving ourselves to a better place. And honestly, there's so much inspiration that can be drawn in individuals who've pulled themselves out of bad situations and are currently in that recovery process. So yeah, I think in the community, there's so much to be drawn from just the celebration of it. And I hope that everyone who's listening today, even if you don't, again, identify with someone who's currently in recovery, come celebrate with us. Come feel those positive vibes. And we look forward to seeing you at one of those events. So thank you so much for all of the information that you've provided today. This has been a great episode. Really appreciate how dense what we have talked about was. And I hope that everyone got something out of this and found some inspiration yourself in it. We look forward to seeing you all at one of our Recovery Month events. If you're interested in attending an event, you can find the registration links. The best place, honestly, is to go to our social media pages. So if you want more information about any of our services, go to northeastdeltahsa.org or call 800-256-2522. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And thank you again to our wonderful guests, Dr. Craig Comanche, Miss Riley McEacharn, and Miss Kara Etienne. I encourage you again to follow the Phoenix. That is the best way to get in touch with us and to get more information about some of these events on social media through Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X. And that is NEDHSA is the handle on all of those. And we want to see you soon. So please come out to one of the events. Go be great today, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody. See you at one of our events.